Hey traders, and welcome back to another technical analysis video brought to you by yours truly, Richard with lionheartewa. Today is the 7th of June 2019. It is 3:15 p.m. Eastern European Standard Time, and we have 15 minutes until the NFP, the non-farm payrolls data, will be released. So practically, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna go on the economic calendar and just look at the fundamentals a little bit to see where what we might be expecting, what's the forecast actually, okay, because the charts are actually saying something completely different, let's say. So I would actually be expecting, according to these data, let's say average hourly earnings 0.3, so an increase compared to the previous, and this might disappoint, by the way. We'll see. And the non-farm, basically the employment change in the government sector to decrease from the previous month, and the unemployment rate to remain flat. Now, I'm expecting some mixed data towards a bearish, somewhat of a bearish sentiment because of the charts. And for that, I'm just gonna speed on through the Forex majors. Okay, so we're gonna kick things off with the dollar index here on the 2-hour time frame. And practically what I was previously doing, I've been tracking this structure, okay, and because of the fact that this went in a free, and then we only had this, I couldn't possibly let's say think that this is the entire correction, and basically this intermediate wave 2 to be placed here, and then we should have gone 1 2 and then the impulse on the upside. Okay, so I didn't do that, except basically I waited for the B wave, the minor B red right here, to show a complete structure like this. So A, B, and then C. This is an expanding flat right here in this minor B red, and I would actually be expecting a 5-wave sequence. Hence the reason why I'm labeling this drop as a 1 and then 2 second wave correction, sharp correction. So due to the law of alternation, we would actually expect a complex structure in the wave 4. I am, let's say, looking towards a possible triangle formation, but it could be a flat as well. Okay, so we're gonna take a look. I mean, we need to monitor this stuff, because let's say the data will be released in about uh, 12 minutes, something like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here on the charts with you guys, and together we're gonna witness the release as well, because I do have some projections and forecasts right if before the event actually takes place, the data is released. Okay, so let's just continue now on the dollar index. Let's say after this drop in a third wave, notice that from 1 towards 2 we do have the 150 161.8 extension for the third wave, let's say, and then things became a little bit more complicated. We basically started to go sideways like this. So this is typically for wave 4, or overlaps and stuff like that. So this previous wave 4, what it's doing is this wave 4, minute red for this one, yeah, is actually entering into this price action territory, and you can actually see that the 100% was actually breached from that as well. Fibonacci extensions. There are multiple ways to do this. There are some harmonic patterns as well, which I'm actually using for this. I have been using and will continue using. But anyhow, the point is that a breach of this zone right here, of this trend line, would possibly invalidate a triangle formation, so could become a little bit more complex. However, the downside is not really out of the question. It can actually drop. Okay, and for now, for that, I'm gonna take a look at the Euro USD. So Euro USD on the 2-hour time frame right here, and the way I'm labeling it, and remember the video I previously did with a glimpse on the Euro USD. Let's see, like right here. So 1 2 second wave correction, yeah, then another rise, But due to this, what happened yesterday, and due to this rise right here, this looks impulsive. So it kind of looks like it wants to create an extension, and this would be considered as the free of free. So it should be quite strong. What I'm saying, simply put, would be that euro might be ready to rally. Okay? Now, that's the way basically I'm labeling euro, because according to the structure and what went on before, the euro might, it actually needs a wave, either a wave C or something on the upside, okay, to complete either a wave 4 of a larger degree correction, or a wave B of an even larger degree correction, okay, in a running flat or something like that on the daily time frame. So yeah, now we'll continue with the pound dollar. Okay, now the pound has been a bit, lazy, but if this thing starts to go on the upside and it breaks out of this trend line, which I have right here, then it could go really, really fast, because that's basically all this thing needs to see. Okay, some weakness from the US dollar to continue. Not that it's not weak right now, now it's not showing weakness, but the pound US dollar seems to me like it does want to go on the upside. Okay, so what the structure is, well, this is either a wave 1, it's a leading diagonal, either a wave 1 or a wave A. Okay, due to how this actually took place, this kind of looks like a B wave, so it actually coincides with the fact that I'm looking for a completion of a larger degree correction. Okay, not, I mean, I'm expecting the pound dollar to form lower lows, okay, in the near term, let's say in the future. But until then, I'm actually expecting one more leg up. Okay, so the euro is showing us that it wants to rally, and also that. So let's just continue with the pound, sorry, the USD yen, the dollar yen. Okay, and let's just see basically how we are doing right here, because I've been previously tracking this, right, with these orders and stuff. So let's say, yeah, it did actually retrace from my levels, which I've been able to post right there. Let's say, for instance, right about here, just as the VIX was preparing to hurt the indices, I was actually expecting the yen to gain strength. Okay, so against the US dollar, this is basically the scenario. I've been active right here as well, of course, with these orders, but some of them got basically stopped out at break even. Okay, so we're good. Now these two, okay, these two were still panning out, so my traders were actually deep in profit with these things. Okay, so as you can actually see, what it's doing right here, how I'm labeling it is, I'm labeling this in a WXY in a double free pattern. So WX and then AB 1 2 3, and this kind of looks like a corrective structure right here, a bear flag if you may. Okay, so it should be able to provide one more on the downside, which means that my theory, which I've previously explaining, let's say with the metals, could be actually, I mean, the leg up could actually continue after that correction. So moving on to the other charts. So dollar Swiss practically is practically in a much in a complex structure as well. So we have A, B, C from the top, so W, purple, minor degree, and then we have a next wave of a double free as well within this X, and then we have a 5-wave sequence in this A, so minute A red, and then a 3-wave sequence in this B, so simple B, which means that this could be a zigzag, okay, which means that it has to deliver one more on the lower side to have a 5-3-5 sequence in that zigzag. All right, and the zigzag should actually go quite deep. Now we have Fibonacci extensions from W and X as targets, 161.8 let's say minimum, because the 100% was actually breached right here. It's hovering around. It is a point of interest, but I would actually expect a deeper uh, deeper move right there. So we have, let's say in the C leg, we have 1 2, the extension in the free, and then this is actually correcting. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see a triangle as well right here to actually deliver that drop. So that's for the dollar Swiss. I am expecting more, a bit more downside for this one. Okay. Now dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, after it formed this ending diagonal in the C leg, yeah, started dropping, and I've been previously bearish on this. If you are following me, okay, with some orders as well. Now the way it dropped, I would actually be expecting right here a running flat, okay? A running flat, or let's say for instance, if the VIX actually spikes and it would actually hurt the WTI, the crude oil, which if you would look at a previous video, just the one before I posted, you'll be able to know my thoughts on that, right? So basically, uh, I'm expecting possibly more, a bit more upside, but it doesn't really have something to do with the weakness in the dollar, but it has something to do with the weakness in the crude oil, okay, and the strength in the CAD. Maybe the CAD data today released will be a bit soft, and the dollar could take advantage of this temporarily, okay. So as a summary, I would actually be expecting a running flat right here on the USD CAD and more downsides. And this should be quite deep. I mean, the correction, the move, the impulse, the bearish impulse for this C leg can actually be something impressive. Moving on to the Aussie dollar, the basically AUDUSD right here. And what I've been noticing is, let's say an AB, and I've been let's say I've been posting some orders right here as well, okay? And basically, this I'm seeing it as a corrective structure, so we should have 5 legs on the upside. I don't think this is it. This is the only one, so basically the AUD just go. No, I think that it has more upside. So let's say either it goes from now directly because it can, okay, or it does this, completes a structure, let's say, so we would have an A right there, we'll have a B, and then it traces until the 61.8 right there, and um, then it goes right here. So let's say maybe it does this, okay, or the wave 2 is actually here, and this thing just goes directly on the upside, okay. So the stop loss, my view right there, my stop loss is at break even. I've instructed my traders to basically do this. If you're following me on TradingView, you'll be able to track my moves and stuff like that. Maybe the public ideas, because I'm posting mostly private ideas for my members on the site on the lionheart-wa.com. So NZD USD. Now, and New Zealand is let's say doing a possible impulse right here. So 1 2, and then the first wave, so another one. uh, if it does this, then it would actually be a zigzag, and this thing could just shoot in a rally. So you got my views right here. What we will do is we'll basically um, go and take a look at the NFP release. Okay, so the data has been released, and we're just gonna refresh this thing to actually see what we had. So good news for the CAD, but bad news for the US dollar. Okay, so a disappointment, 0.2 and 75k, and basically for, well, 75k for the jobs added. ADP was actually bad as well, so it's not, I mean, the dollar is not looking good right now, y'all. So 3.6% unemployment rate, so remained flat. Now let's see how this looks on the charts, and we're also gonna need to update these charts. So let's start with the dollar index here. As you can actually see, we're witnessing a big red candle for the downside, and I do believe that this could be extensive. Okay, so we'll basically, what we will do is we will now adjust our wave counts.
You wanna know who the best is? Let's get it on! Yes, yes, y'all, yes, y'all, yes, y'all, yes, y'all. You wanna know who the best is? Let's get it on! Come on! If you wanna be on top, then you got to let go. Cause I'm so nonchalant about the way I move. He turns it out. I'll show you right.
Okay, so it looks like we have an extension in play, a bearish extension basically for the dollar. Okay, and due to this bad NFP that it just had, dollar might just be able to deliver a massive impulse on the downside. All right, so this means that metals and the other counter currencies would be able to take advantage of this weakness in the US dollar for the next week. The reason why I'm recording this video right now is for you to digest it over the weekend, so you'll be ready for the next trading week, obviously starting with Monday. So dollar index, let's say I was obviously inclining for the downside. So it seems like the wave 4 has ended, so we are actually we have completed a wave 1, 2, and we're basically within the 3 or 3 of the last fifth leg for the downside, so it should be quite deep. Okay, now the reason why I'm saying that it would be quite deep is because this swing and this swing, I don't like the fact that the third wave did not extend, so the fifth wave might just be extended, hence the reason why I just said that the move on the downside could be impressive for the dollar. Now the Euro USD, exactly like I said before, it's ready, it's hungry, it wants to go for the extension, and just made no adjustment really on this. But the pound US dollar seems to me like the downfall will not happen anymore, and it just completed the small wave 2 right here after the leading diagonal. Okay, so it seems like again this one wants to extend on the upside, obviously. Yeah, now the dollar yen has completed indeed this bear flag. Okay, and it seems to me like it wants to shoot on the downside, and this the same could be extended as well, this fifth leg. So basically these swings might just impress. Okay, dollar Swiss, same thing, has created basically has completed the wave 4 correction. Not sure if it's gonna complicate things like doing another set, so something like a triangle or something, but I don't think so. I think it's just gonna be going and going, and basically with a 5-wave sequence for the downside in order to complete this fifth leg and the C leg for a larger degree pattern. Now the dollar CAD, it seems to me like it's basically the CAD had good data released, the dollar had bad data released, and this data would actually weigh on the US dollar for quite some time. Sentiment for the Feds is basically they're going back on their yeah. So yeah, my theory about the US dollar basically softening is becoming a little bit of a reality right now. So the dollar CAD is actually tanking now, and I'm expecting more downside. Now the AUDUSD, indeed, it seems to me like it's starting the extension. So basically what I did, I just placed the wave 2 right here. So we are in a wave 1, 2, and this should be the free of freeze to go basically to rally. NZDUSD, basically the same thing. So NZDUSD, just like the Aussie dollar, wants to go for the upside. So that was it for today. Just wanted to brief you up a little bit, get you ready for the next trading week. Don't forget, if you do like this video, please support it with a thumbs up. Thank you. And until next time, As I like to say to all my traders, stay in the green and many pips ahead. Bye for now, y'all.